Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimbale in Abuja. Tonight, we've got some very controversial issue for you from Lagos to the headquarters of the People's Democratic Party in Abuja. A lot is happening, and we're going to be breaking it down for you. A lot of the times in politics, don't look beyond the surface. There's a lot deeper than the eyes can meet, or the eyes can see. So tonight we're going to give you a sense of what really happened, all the details of what happened in Lagos today. There were some APC chieftains that were thrown into the Black Maria. The police struck and they were begging for help, and this was in the midst. Those were holding solidarity march in favor of Mudasiru Obasa, who has now been impeached. The man who, according to insiders in the APC, said he's been warned severally by the Lagos Governor's Advisory Council over high-handedness, misuse of office and misconduct, and a lot of issues. And perhaps there are those who are saying that it's an ambition matter. Is it a crime for the man to want to be the next governor of Lagos? Is this at the root of the matter? What exactly is going on? You remember that the leader of the APC in Lagos is now the president of Nigeria. The man, since he became governor in Lagos in 1999, has been responsible in determining the way Lagos governors have gone over the last years. So, tonight, we'll give you a sense of what is happening. What is also is happening in the PDP. We'll give you an insight into it. But first, before we get into all of this matter, let's check out some of your political roundup stories.
The House of Representatives committees on custom and excise as well as interior are threatening to evoke legislative powers after heads of MDAs failed to honor its invitation. Committees investigating the operations of the Nigerian Customs Service and the management of the nation's borders. The committee, alongside the House Committee on Interior, had invited the Minister of Interior, the Comptroller General of Customs, the Comptroller General of the Nigeria Immigration Service, and other stakeholders. The Edo Election Petition Tribunal has adjourned till Wednesday, January the 15th, 2025, for the hearing of all petitions challenging the result of the September 21st governorship election in Edo State, where Monday Okwebolo of the All Progressives Congress (APC) was declared winner. The first and second respondents, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), the All Progressives Congress (APC), had filed an appeal for adjournment to attend to a Supreme Court matter coming up on Tuesday, January the 14th, 2025. The chairman of the tribunal, Justice Wilfred Kochi, granted the request for adjournment on all petitions till Wednesday, January the 15th, as all councils involved in the matter agreed to the new date. For Oyo State, where Governor Seyi Makinde has presented the instruments of office to the new Alaafin of Oyo, Abimbola Akeem Owoade, at a short ceremony in his office. The brief ceremony, which took place at the executive chambers of the governor's office, Secretariat Ibadan, had in attendance members of the executive of the Oyo State government and other stakeholders from Oyo. Governor Makinde says a coronation date will be announced in the days ahead.
Tonight, let me put your knowledge of Nigeria's politics into test, and this is our quiz for today, everyone. The question we'll be asking you is, the term stomach infrastructure in Nigeria politics refers to A, is it investment in healthcare infrastructure, B, policies focused on providing social amenities, C, distribution of food and cash to gain political support, or D, construction of agricultural processing plants. What does stomach infrastructure means in Nigeria's politics? It does look like it's now an indigenous Nigerian political language. So let's figure it. We'll be showing you the answer before the end of the program tonight. So let's get to it, everyone. First and foremost, let's get into the matter that is burning on the People's Democratic Party tonight. We do know that the embattled National Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Mr. Samuel Anyanwu was resumed office at the party's national headquarters in Abuja, despite the party's earlier position to abide by the appeal court judgment, which recognizes the former national youth leader, Mr. Ude Okoye, as a national secretary. The contest for the office of the PDP national secretary started after Mr. Anyanwu stepped aside to contest the Imo State governorship election and the November election last year. Upon his return from the exercise, which he lost to the incumbent governor, Hope Uzodinma, the Southeast caucus of the party went to court to challenge his return as a PDP national secretary and to ask the court to instead replace him with Mr. Ude Okoye, the former PDP national youth leader. Although the High Court and the Appellate Court ruled in favor of the Southeast caucus and their candidate, Mr. Anyanwu says he has appealed the judgment of the appeal court and remains the national secretary until the apex court says otherwise. Take a listen to Mr. Anyanwu.
Last December, precisely 20th of December, the appeal court in Enugu with a dissenting judgment, which a cause was awarded against the opponent in my favor. Met and said that they are affirming the judgment of the state high court in Telugu. But as a matter of fact, what the law says that I should appeal. I appeal the matter, appeal for stay of execution and appeal to the Supreme Court. Obviously, what it means that the position remains as it is until determined by the Supreme Court. This party belongs to the people, not to an individual, not to a person, not to a group, but to the people. Because this is the only party that took power away from the military. And this party is in every family in Nigeria. So I always ask for our party faithfuls to be strong, to remain firm with the party, and let's work together. It's possible, 2027 is possible for us to get that presidency, which all of us have been suffering for. And that's why we're here anyway.
All right, you have it. You heard from Mr. Sam Anyanwu. Let's go to perhaps our major story for tonight. And sit tight, everyone. Lagos, Rivers, Kano, those politics in these states, they come with their interests. I'm telling you tonight that this is not the first. You will see more in the coming days when this has happened, the event of today. So, members of the Lagos State House of Assembly, in what has become a unanimous vote against their leader, they today voted out Honorable Mudasiru Obasa as the Speaker of the House. He was accused of multiple statutory and financial infractions and misuse of office. Mr. Obasa was subsequently now being replaced by his deputy, Honorable Mochisala Miranda. Ms. Miranda will represent Apapa constituency 1, was also a former chief whip of the House. Honorable Majid Fatai is now the deputy speaker of the Lagos House of Assembly. Obasa has been engulfed in a series of controversial circumstances in terms of financial dealings, and the removal comes barely a month after Obasa was accused of allegedly spending 17 billion naira to fix a gate that leads to the State Assembly. When the announcement came, this is how Honorable Miranda was sworn in as the Speaker and the very first female Speaker of the Lagos Assembly.
And the laws and the rules of the House of Assembly.
And always in the interest of sovereignty.
And always in the interest of sovereignty.
Integrity. Solidarity. Well-being. And prosperity of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And prosperity of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And in particular Lagos State. I will strive to preserve the fundamental objectives and directives.
That I will strive to preserve the fundamental and objectives and directives, principles
of state policy
contained in the
Constitution of the Federal Republic
of Nigeria. And so help me God. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Apparently, Honorable Obasa was conspicuously absent or not seen in the environment of the State Assembly. But now we're hearing some news coming in now, some statement being coming from the House of Assembly, and this one perhaps from the desk of the new speaker. And I'll read a portion of that statement, which says that there was a change of leadership in the Lagos State House of Assembly as the Speaker, Honorable Mudasiru Obasa, was removed, and his deputy, Right Honorable Mojisola Lasbat-Miranda, has been elected as Speaker. This development is a normal legislative activity in the legislative arm of government, most especially when some members are agitated or there is obvious infringements. There is no division in the House, as all members have pledged allegiance to the new Speaker, Right Honorable Mojisola Lasbat-Miranda. She has since settled down. She has assured members of a harmonious working relationship and that all hands must be on deck to ensure continuous development in the state. The new speaker has appealed to all members to rally around the leadership in continuation of the provision of dividends of democracy to their constituents. The new speaker used the opportunity to ensure the governor of the cooperation and support of the assembly at all times. This has been signed by Honorable Ogundipe Stephen Olukade for the Lagos State House of Assembly. Statement coming from the new leadership of the Lagos State House of Assembly. But of course, the members are now they've been speaking about what happened. Let me allow you to listen to what they said shortly after Honorable Obasa was removed.
Members of the House felt they've had enough of the Right Honorable Mudasiru Obasa, and today we have unanimously agreed that Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda Lasbat become the new Speaker of the House. So it was a resolution concurred to by all members of the Parliament, and so be it. And Honorable Fatai Mojid Adebola as the Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly. And as we speak, all the principal position has been dissolved, and all the standing committee has been dissolved. So the House, as you can see, we have resolved to work together and ensure that we move the Parliament to the next level.
Honorable Abiodun Tobun there, speaking on behalf of the rest of the members of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Let's get you insight into what happened today. A lot of the times, you need to get those who are in the know and those who also have analytical minds. And I have all of these perspectives for you tonight. I have one person who knows the politics of Lagos State like the back of his hand. Is a chieftain of of APC in Lagos. Mr. Fuad Oki is live for us in Lagos. Thank you so much. It's a great to get the big elephant out this evening. What an honor to have you, Mr. Oki. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Sheung, good evening. Good evening, Nigeria. Sheung, happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you. It's good to see you.
Many years to you.
Great.
Thanks for having me.
Great. And also, I have my very good friend, Jide Ojo, who is a political analyst and China's television election politics analyst. Thanks so much, Jide. It's good to have you. Happy New Year to you.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much indeed, Jide. You always amaze me. If you're dressed in the Yoruba attire, you fully dress 100%. In the Igbo attire, fully dress 100%. I need to know your tailor.
It's one Nigeria, isn't it?
Thank you so much. Let me begin the conversation. It looks like a light note, but I know there is a tense atmosphere within the APC, Mr. Oki. And you know too well the underpinnings, the undercurrents in the Lagos State House of Assembly. First and foremost, did you see this coming? Did you see that Obasa was going to be removed in this manner?
Yes. Very, very well. And I think it's late in coming. But for any discernible mind who understands the politics of Lagos, events of the last 3 months particularly, it's an indication that Right Honorable Mudasiru Obasa's days were numbered. If you cast your mind back again events of the last 3 weeks or thereabouts, it became obvious that the best thing that can happen to the states, and particularly the parliament, the legislature in Lagos, is for him to step aside and allow, a fresh infusion of leadership at the parliament. So I think this is something that's been expected the last 2-3 months, particularly the last 2 weeks. It became very obvious that there is need for a change in the leadership of the parliament in Lagos. And if you cast your mind back, Sheung, you must have saw this coming the last 18 months. You must have saw it coming. But in recent times, you should also recall events of the day when the governor presented the 2025 appropriation bill. The leadership of the party were invited, as is the convention, and not only was the governor, was kept waiting for over 4 hours, the leadership of the party and all invited dignitaries to witness the epoch events were also kept waiting for over 5 hours with no apologies, with no excuse. And when Honorable Mudasiru came into the chambers, courtesies too were not extended to anyone. Rather, it was a situation or an event of letting people know that I am the emperor here. And if you remember the story of Ali Baba and the 40 thieves, you will begin to ask yourself exactly what is happening. You begin to raise questions amongst the 39 members that exactly what is happening. You should also remember their mode of dressing, which was nothing short of saying, we want you to know. We call the shot here. And I want you to know, leadership of the party, that I am in charge. And I am the emperor, the gatekeeper of Lagos. So with that, you should have seen it coming. And exactly that is what happened today. I think it was late in coming, but it was never too late.
We understand there was a point that a vote of confidence was imposed on the Speaker, Mudasiru Obasa, that 30-something or so members actually affirmed that he is their leader. And that was late last year. All of them, all of the members except him, today voted him out. We understand that there are orders from the top that since late last year, that when they resume this year, their first agenda is the removal of Obasa. Did you hear that, Mr. Oki?
Well, let me start by saying or responding to that we are in a democracy. And that our style of democracy is also something that a lot of Nigerians are yet to fully understand. A lot of us still look at our politics as if we're still in the First Republic with the Westminster system of government or parliamentary process. We are in a democratic dispensation where we've all agreed and resolved to adopt the American presidential system of government. Having said that, you need to understand that the parliament has a very considerable degree of independence, but, and it's a big but, they all belong to different constituencies with a political firmament. They all have their leaders, both local and at the state level. So when you have issues like this, it becomes necessary for leaders to sit down and speak with their constituency representatives, with the person that is carrying their sovereignty at the legislative arm. And exactly that is what happened. Yes, leaders of the party must necessarily sit down to look at what has become of their party. And very clearly too, the Lagos House of Assembly, it's a House of Assembly that belongs to just one party. So looking at what they do, checking their ways and means, it's a necessary instrument. So if you now have your representative carrying the banner of your party and who has turned himself into an emperor, there must be some checks and balances. And one of the ways to check, such irresponsible attitude, it's in calling his excellencies to order. How do you do that? You speak with other members of the party that are carrying the banner and tell them or ask questions and allow them to sit back on their own to look at what will be and what is in the best interest of the party that they represent, of the constituencies they represent, and overall in the interest of the state. And I think that is what happened.
Now, when I got across to you, you are a very reserved politician in a lot of ways, and you are very measured. But I do know that you have a lot of insider information. And for some of the people that I spoke to in Lagos, who are leaders of Lagos, in fact, some of those who are privy to one of those governing Lagos Governors Advisory Council, the very popular GAC, there are those who say that, in fact, the president and the leader of your party in the state was present at one of those meetings where the now ousted speaker was warned about his behavior and the manner in which he went about his duties. And this was sometime late last year. Are you privy to that kind of information? What can you tell us about the intervention? Perhaps, maybe Asiwaju Bola Tinubu had wanted to intervene, but this it didn't work out.
Well, the president was home on Christmas and New Year holiday. And know that first and foremost, the president is from Lagos. The president is the leader of the party, not just in Nigeria, but particularly in Lagos. And it is also in his best interest to see that Lagos continue to be pivotal in terms of political leadership, in terms of administration, and what have you. And before the president came home, this issue has been lingering. In the wisdom of members of the Governors Advisory Council, GAC, it was like, let's all call this, honorable members to order. Let us check, their exuberance, I should say. And not just once, not just twice, about 3 meetings. As a matter of fact, at a point in time, it was a marathon meeting, involving the GSC, the ousted Right Honorable Speaker of the House, the governor, to try to look at exactly what the issues were, to try to make corrections, where necessary. And what was found out was a situation where the Right Honorable Speaker became unbending. You recall I used the word emperor earlier. He saw himself as an emperor. He saw himself as someone whose ways and means cannot be checked, correct, or admonished. So when the president got home, in the wisdom of the leadership of the GAC, the president's attention was called And again, the president, as father and leader, called another meeting wherein he tried to make a sense out of the observations raised by elders of the party. Unfortunately, the president saw by himself a recalcitrant, and I think that is what broke the camel's back.
Mudasiru Obasa is, and I'm speaking to a very experienced Lagos politician now. Mudasiru Obasa is one of the most experienced politicians in power in Lagos. Perhaps 6 or 7 times now. He was a councillor, if I recall very well. He's been in the House of Assembly for almost 4 or 5 terms, if my memory serves me right. If you look at, and I have the data of those who have been the Speaker of this Lagos State House of Assembly. By the way, it's a big congratulations to the women folk in Lagos. Congratulations to Lagos, because the very first time a woman will be the Speaker of the House of Assembly in Lagos, Honorable Mojisola Miranda. If you look at it, from Adeleke, who eventually went on to become a senator, perhaps one of the finest senators coming out of Lagos, Mamora, from 1999 to 2003. We had Wai Jokotola Pelumi from 2003. For about 2 years in 2005, when Adeyemi Kufuoriji became speaker from 2005 to 2015. Kufuoriji was also one of the longest serving speakers. In fact, he was also seen as an institution on his own. Kufuoriji also had ambition to become Lagos governor. And Obasa is almost going to be like an Kufuoriji, because he also had said that he is not too young and is not inexperienced to become the Lagos governor. Mr. Oki, this is where it becomes more interesting. And I will show you this. There has been a lot of talks about who is going to succeed Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and I'm wondering why that has become a major issue when Sanwo-Olu has barely spent the second year of the second term. Now, some names have been thrown up, and there is those who they call the Ikorodu United, and those who believe that the power must go to Ikorodu, and there are names that have come up from the chief of staff to the president, Femi Gbajabiamila, to Mudasiru Obasa, the man that has been impeached today, to Senator Tokunbo Abiru, to the son of the president, Seyi Tinubu. Honorable Jimmy Benson is another very strong candidate that has been mentioned, a sitting member of the House of Representatives, the chair of the Committee on the Defense, and the former governor of Lagos State, Akinwumi Ambode. These are the names that have been thrown up. And perhaps a lot of people in Lagos who understand what is going on the inside will say the problem of Obasa, or the problem started with Obasa's ambition to wanting to succeed Sanwo-Olu. Do you think that they were right in that thinking?
Isheon, you are part of the problem. You know Lagos like the back of your hand, as I do. And Sheon, you've been with me on this journey now 2 decades. And for me, Fuadoki, I make bold to say that in this business, I probably do not have a peer. I dare say this. And I can tell you what will fly, what can fly, and what will not. About 12 years ago, Sheon, if you recall, in your studio, in your morning program, I said something, and I will remind you again. When you have people aspiring, I call them wannabe. And in my lexicon, as a political manager, what we have on the top now, it's a bunch of pretenders. You may have 100 names. At this point in time, they are all pretenders. In another 4 months, we will begin to see them and we will get contenders. Now, this time next year, we will begin to see contestants out of which one will emerge as the candidates. So we have pretenders. So let all of them continue to pretend. 2025 in Lagos State, there is a dress rehearsal. The dress rehearsal will be in end of June, possibly early or mid-July, which is the local government election. So contenders will not begin to show their faces. There's a popular saying that the beautiful ones are yet to be born. And you must know that. So let us continue to have contenders. And because they are all contenders, they have the yes, you can do it. Yes, you are the best. Oh, it is you we want. And so either you have the Ikorodu Rangers or you have Rangers from any other place. They are all a bunch of pretenders. So let them continue to pretend. By July, we'll begin to see contenders. By this time next year, we will begin to see contestants. So let's just keep that, at that. Whatever people may say to be undercurrents of who wanna be or this or that, let us leave it to their imaginations. Let them continue to pretend. More pretenders will still come on top. And after the dress rehearsal in June or July, they will begin to see themselves and will begin to see contenders. And that's the way I want Nigerians to take it.
But the question I ask, Mr. Oki, is, do you think those who say that the fall of Obasa today from the seat of the speaker is as a result of his ambition?
I just explained to you. You see, don't let us begin to allude things that are not. We talked about somebody who, for reasons known to himself, because if that were to be the reason, I don't think you would have been playing, an emperor game. I think you will have been more circumspect in how he approached, his aspiration, if indeed there was one. But I am not sure it's about aspiration. I'm not sure it's about wanting to be something. I think it's about you seeing yourself to be holier than God. It's about you seeing yourself in a situation where you think, because you are holding on to the power of the boss, you can play game and play team God. He is someone that is quite close to me, that is there to my heart as brother. But truth be told, he has not done well.
Stick with me for a moment, Mr. Fuadoki. Let me bring Mr. Judy Ojo, who is a political analyst. He needs to give us some perspective other than the insider perspective. Let's get some sense in this. It is the constitutional duty of lawmakers. They have the right, the powers to remove. And in the first place, it's first amongst equal, isn't it? All of them are elected to represent their constituency anyways. They are all equals. And you have been given the honor to lead a state as big as Lagos. Perhaps politically you want to ascribe the number one political state to Lagos State, and you're seeing this kind of drama player. And if I remember, this has only happened maybe once or twice in the history of Lagos. What do you make of what happened today in Lagos?
Thank you, Sean. And indeed, this is politics at its peak, and I'm not surprised. Incidentally, the former speaker, Mudasiru Obasa, is someone I've had opportunity to interact with in the last 4 years. Yes, since the time of COVID, I've had the privilege of being among the resource persons that build the capacity of state houses of assembly. And we've done that a number of times under the auspices of Conrad Adwena Foundation for Lagos and several other state houses of assembly. And it's on that count that I happen to have interfaced and interacted with him. I see a man who is very self-assured, who is very competent, who is very firm, and who is in control of the assembly. But you see, Quite on the social media, most allusions are to the fact that it was disrespectful to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in the way he carried out during the budget presentation exercise, particularly when he made last night the remark that I'm not too young or inexperienced to be the governor of the state and are more qualified than some of those people who are there, you know. So it's presumed to be a snide remark at a sitting governor. Incidentally, as a Speaker of House of Assembly or Deputy Speaker, you do not have immunity. So, as you rightly pointed out, you are first among equals, and you are just there at the expense, at the grace of your members. And as the elder statesman who is on this panel with me have said, I don't know what may have come, what may have prompted the Right Honorable Mudasiru Obasa to behave the way he did, because if what he was alleged to have done has been revealed, which is the politics behind the scene of, you know, keeping the governor waiting for several hours, keeping the party elders waiting, and no apologies, nothing. And then the president even weighing in, and you are showing some measure of stubbornness and recalcitrance. Then the gods wants to destroy the first Meg, whatever. So I believe this may have been a kind of self-inflicted own goal, if I want to call it own goal. Because you want to be a governor. It's a legitimate aspiration. In fact, what I heard a couple of years ago, was that he wanted to go to Senate in the 2023. He didn't want to stay again. He's a 6-time member of the Lagos State House of Assembly.
Was a councillor in the first place. So 7 times now in being elected.
And his deputy then, Honorable Eshin-Lokun, got tickets to represent one of the senatorial districts. He's now a member of the Senate, Nigerian Senate. He used to be his deputy. And what I heard from the grapevine was that he also was angling at that time to go to Senate. And maybe it was a kind of mediation was found that, look, don't go, two of you, both deputy governor and deputy speaker and the speaker, cannot both go to the Senate about the same time. You retain your seat, which was a kind of negotiation. Recall that, you know, speakership and deputy speakership is based on zoning. You may not necessarily be the most competent person in the assembly, but if the zoning formula favors you, it narrows down to you. I don't know if you get my analogy. Because usually our politics is politics of political office sharing of political offices. So the governor is from a particular senatorial district, the deputy governor is from a senatorial district, then the speaker, which is the number 3 in the ranking order, will be from the other, the third senatorial district. So that it is balanced, you know. So you are just privileged. You are first among equals. It's not like maybe they may consider your experience, worth of experience, your pedigree and all of that. But primarily, what I saw that played out is, I think if all those measures that Elder Oke has said, took place, kind of mediatory meetings, reconciliation meetings, and all of that, and it appears to party leaders not to have shown remorse, and the flippancy was deemed to have, treated the governor. Don't forget, a governor. That's why it's so easy to remove speakers of any assembly. A governor controls the levers of power, both the financial power, the political power, and every other powers within the state, and he has immunity. You cannot remove a governor, summarily the way he was removed today. But that is just besides the point. The real issue is he's still a member of the assembly.
We'll spare that, because in some other crimes, what would have happened is that they will come heavy. The political powers will come heavy
and
impeach and suspend and subject the person to a suspension because the allegations are weighty according to the law.
But you see, the allegations is just calling a dog a bad name in order to hang it, because you are alleging gross misconduct, imprudence, malfeasance, corruption, and all of that. That has not been proven. And there was never, at least to the best of my knowledge, no committee was established or inaugurated to investigate these particular allegations upon which he has been suspended. To say that the Assembly was acting on the report of the findings of the maybe ethics committee of the House and all of that. So it's just politics.
I think to a large extent, I'm not sure, I need to confirm this. To remove a speaker, I'm not sure the members need an excuse to remove a speaker. Constitutionally speaking, if they wake up in the morning and they feel like they want to remove a speaker, they could make a vote and remove a speaker. Because in the end, it comes down to one thing. We look at one person who can lead us and we vote the person into office.
I'm not sure is that...
that's why I said I need to confirm.
Yeah, you can confirm, but authoritatively, I think, in my own opinion, if he who alleges must prove. You cannot just say, I'm a thief. You didn't investigate me. There was no report before the House to say that, okay, your theft has been proven. I know there have been petitions, against him. Even in time past, in the last assembly, there were petitions against him. It was rabid, just like Honorable Luomo in Ogun State. You know how that also played out. Also one of the highly cerebral honorable members. But you are it's what it is.
Just a moment. We need to go on a break. But I like to remind a lot of people that history is here, in the sense that if you remember in 2005, when Honorable Adeyemi Ikuforoji took over from Honorable Pelumi, Honorable Ikuforoji went on to spend 10 years as the Speaker of the Lagos House of Assembly. Now, Honorable Mudasiru Obasa is spent 10 years also. I need to find out who has spent more time in terms of 10 years and how many days that have been spent. But history is here again. After Ikuforoji would have been the longest serving speaker in Lagos, Mudasiru Obasa has also spent equal years. But we'll take a break, everyone. But when we're in time, there are more dynamics into this. Perhaps how this may affect the governance in Lagos State, and perhaps also how it may affect who becomes a successor to Babajide Sanwo-Olu. We'll be right back, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us on the program. So some news coming in from other states other than Lagos State that we've been discussing tonight. And we do know that tonight there is a confirmation of an appointment coming in the cabinet of Imo State government. And this time, Senator Opu Uzodinma has approved the appointment of Ken Onyali-Ikpe as the Deputy Chief of Staff, Strategy and Communication. The statement coming from the Commissioner for Information, Public Orientation and Strategy states that appointment is with immediate effect. Senator Opu Uzodinma, Governor of Imo State, has approved the appointment of Ken Onyali-Ikpe as the Deputy Chief of Staff, Strategy and Communication. The story coming from Imo State. Let's get back to the conversation with Mr. Fuad Oki, who is an APC chieftain, and here with me in Lagos, in our Abuja studio, is Mr. Jide Ojo. Mr. Ojo, you were doing the analysis, but give us an understanding of what you think could be the implication of today's removal of Mudasiru Obasa.
Well, the implication is that an experienced lawmaker has been relieved of his position, and the remaining period between now and 2027 will be quite humbling for the former speaker, because now we see it as ordinary member of the assembly. And you just imagine, it's like a demotion of sorts, even though, primarily you are there, you are high there, and the Speaker of Lagos State is like the Speaker of a country.
Yeah.
So you have held power for that length of time, and all of a sudden you are going to just walk into the assembly. Nobody stands for you.
I'm not sure there is any speaker in Nigeria today that is as experienced sitting speaker.
That's what I'm saying. It's
so
one of the longest.
When Ikufuruji was speaker, it was one of the most experienced.
And he achieved a lot for Lagos State House of Assembly. It was under him that Lagos has, if my memory serves me right, this financial autonomy. Lagos State has it. Lagos is one of the states with 4-year tenure for local government. I don't know whether it was under him or under the previous speaker that you have 4-year autonomy for Lagos State. And he's well experienced, very versatile, knowledgeable. In fact, in the forum of speakers, his voice is well respected. So that's because now the shock of it is, will he even be attending, even if he's made the chairman of a committee? So if you were to be the one, will you find your voice? Will you be able to relate with your colleague? Because now it's the deputy that's now the speaker. So for the first time, and I want to join you in congratulating the female folks for achieving this, even though it may not be as a result of advocacy per se, but at least Lagos have shown the way again, producing the first female speaker for the state, just the same way they have, from time immemorial, produced the deputy governor, female deputy governor. The only thing we are waiting for, maybe in 2027, we will have the first governor, female governor of Nigeria. If we have among the pretenders now.
I know two people also who are from Ikorodu who are women politicians in Lagos. One of them is Honorable Toke Benson, who is a serving commissioner. One of them is Abike Dabiri Erewa, who is also a member of the Ikorodu United.
Three-time member of
the House of Reps. Yeah. And, who is been in power and she's done that, all that.
Even the former deputy governor who is now in charge of SDG, Orelope Adefulure, those are very powerful.
So it could be. Who said Toke Benson cannot be the next governor of Lagos? Abike Dabiri Erewa. So who said? It will be if America could not achieve the first president, female president. Maybe Lagos can lead the way in having the first female governor.
It's not impossible. So the implication is very grave. It's a personal loss to Honorable Obasa. Genuinely, I feel sorry for him. I wish things were not the way, because we need experience. And in the assembly, you always lose about 70 to 80% at every election. You understand what I'm saying? Whether at the national or state level, you don't have many people returning. I think in Lagos, the number is even much higher. It's about 50%.
Now, again, what I wanted to bring to bear, and I'll allow Mr. Oki to also explain, Lagos State APC is one of the most organized political setup in Nigeria.
Of course.
In fact, they have what they call the GAC, the Governor's Advisory Council. And we saw that group. We thought that a lot of people didn't recognize that group as powerful.
They were the one that Ambode was denied second time.
We knew their powers when Akinwumi Ambode was denied the ticket of the party. An incumbent, even his colleagues, governors, went and did advocacy for.
Asiwaju was pleaded with. But the GSC said no.
This was the group of very experienced APC members. So what I wanted to ask you, or wanted you to comment on, is the organization of the APC in Lagos. So much that, yes, they have a leader who is the president of Nigeria, but they've got some very elderly, experienced politicians who sit down. It's such that it's a very organized setup, whether you like them or you hate them. They're perhaps one of the most organized political groups in Nigeria.
In fact, that's something that the rest of Nigeria should learn, particularly in terms of leadership recruitment. Like I said, Lagos calls first. It's not just a state of aquatic splendor or state of excellence. It leads in several ways. Lagos budget is the highest in Nigeria. I think this year is 2 or 3 trillion budget, which is the highest, which is even more than several countries national budget. You can't talk of budget of Benin Republic, Togo, and all of that. And you compare that to Lagos. And Lagos has 40 members, 40 members. But you see, you need this kind of elders, the GAC, as the brain box to guide. And that's why APC, from the days of AD to AC to ACN to APC, they have not lost the governorship seat, not for once. It's because of the robustness and the proactiveness of this group. You know, in the case of Ambode, he did everything. He pleaded,
he fought his way.
But
the center couldn't hold.
No.
And you know the commentary that I found very interesting. There are those who are advocating that maybe Rivers State need GAC.
Of course,
that can stabilize their politics, because Rivers State always it has a robust politics. But whatever is happening in Rivers State today, there are those who are now saying maybe Rivers State need the kind of structure that Lagos has in the APC. You know, so that we don't generalize. The GAC is not for the whole of Lagos. It's within the APC in Lagos State.
But I think if you want to liken Lagos and Rivers, I think is the political structure that Nyesom Wike is trying to protect. It's like their own GAC for PDP. In a sense, he may just be the arrowhead, he may be the driver, he may be the financier, but I believe that for him to have pulled the kind of feat that he did last year, you know, only 2 out of the 5 rebellious governors were able to deliver their state. Seyi Makinde of Oyo State and Nyesom Wike. And for the first time, Rivers voted massively for President Tinubu in the first round of election, and in the second round of election, voted massively for PDP. And that's how Fubara emerged. You will recall that even many people in PDP did not support Fubara. They felt this river. A
lot of them felt stampeded.
The fact that
it
was imposed on them.
Yeah, it forced
that it was imposed. So that's to tell you that they have their own political structure, which is what Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister, is trying to safeguard. That look, you can't take this structure and throw me under the bus. Yeah. But by and large, I think Lagos has done well for itself, coming up with this kind of robust, and we should give credit to the President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I don't know whether he was instrumental in putting this together, but
I'm not sure anything of this nature could have happened. You cannot remove a Lagos speaker without the notice of Bola Tinubu.
Well, without the tacit support.
Let me get a final thought of quickly, just about 30 seconds. Mr. Fuadoki, what is your final thoughts? Send us away with your final comments.
Okay, let me say this here. You seem to be fixated on the issue of Ikorodu United. But let me help you.
That has been the top conversation in your party in Lagos.
Let me help you. Your fixation on Ikorodu United may be the undoing for Ikorodu people. Having said that,
Elder Oki has spoken.
No, having said that, we talk about the GAC. We also need to understand where we're coming from. Understand that political development and evolution in Nigeria started from Lagos. When you look at the composition of the GAC, we're talking about politicians that have come from the AG days, who have been in politics, who have been party administrators, who have been in governments, from the city council. We're talking about people who have participated in the Second Republic, in the Third Republic. So you have a gamut, a mix of party administrators that have seen it all. Westminster system, presidential system, and you know what we do in Lagos? We have what is called Megbo in grades.
Mr. Oki, we are totally out of time. But it's a pleasure having you tonight on the program.
Drop your fixation. Drop it.
Well, it's not from me. It's what is being discussed in Lagos in your party. But before we go, everyone, the answer to the quiz from yesterday we asked the question, the 2015 presidential election was historic because the answer is because an incumbent president at the time lost re-election. That's the answer for yesterday quiz. And for today's quiz, we asked you the term stomach infrastructure in Nigeria politics refers to. The answer is distribution of food and cash to gain political support. And that's how we end tonight's program. Thank you so much to Mr. Fuadoki and Jide Ojo for giving us insight into these issues. I'm sure Akimari. I'll see you next time. God bless Nigeria.